Okay, so today I want to show you how simple it can be to create a scatter plot in Google Sheets if you're using, data that's formatted in a way that makes sense to the program. So it is used to, for a scatter plot, it's used to data that's formatted this way with headers at the top and then two columns of numerical data. So this is looking at plants and the biomass below ground versus above ground. And we can go to Format, nope, Insert, Chart. And if everything works the way I think it should, yes, there it is. So it creates a chart that is automatically choosing the scatter chart. You can, of course, choose a different suggestion, but this is what I wanted. By double clicking the title, it takes you right to the correct part of Customize. And you can change this to the effect of, if you really wanted to, like if you wanted to change the title at all. This is also the area here. If you click that, you can add a subtitle, you can change the horizontal and vertical title, or this is also the place where if you happen to feed in information that didn't already have the axis labels at the top of the columns, you could add them by changing the text there from nothing to something. And then there's all kinds of other options, but I find that just leaving things not bold, not italics, generally the scale and size is kind of auto fit to a really lovely graph. Your days of having to do all that manually are over. I remember those days. Another interesting thing, if you go from, because you've got all these different customized options, if you go to series, you can keep scrolling, and you can add a trend line. And that trend line is nice if you're trying to make predictions about the relationship between how these two variables co-vary, how they vary together. So it can really help your predictions. You need to have linear data for that. They're not giving you options for other kinds of trend lines. You can change how opaque that line is, how thick the line is. If you wanted a really thick 8-point line, something like that, but make it like nice and faint. That's a little too faint, I think. But you have options, lots and lots of options. What's tricky is if I scroll over, when you have data that's formatted like this. So this is one of my old labs, and they were measuring the height of a bubble produced by yeast during fermentation, and so they had all these different concentrations of molasses. And if you were to just like highlight this and click scatter plot, I mean, it's going to auto default to a bar graph, and I'm sure, I mean, it's got all these different series, all these different colors. I honestly don't know how I would begin to start changing all of that. I'm sure it's possible. And I've wasted a lot of my time messing with graphs trying to get them to look right, when really, if you just put the data in the right format, it will look much better automatically. So what I've started to do here is, if you scroll, I've been taking the data from this and I've been moving it into the format of just 2 rows of numerical information moving down. And of course, this is a little different because we have the same number over and over and over again. Let's see, I need to start at group 20, and I'm going from horizontal numbers to vertical numbers. So what on earth am I doing? Well, I'm hitting Control C to copy, and when I go to paste, I right click and paste transpose. This is like my favorite life-changing Excel recent discovery. It does not matter that those numbers are a little funky. If you write the same number twice, click, highlight, and then hover over that blue box, you can copy that down. So I'm going to do the same for 25. Highlight, Control C to copy, click and paste transposed, and then write 25 a couple of times. Click and drag to highlight, hover over the little blue box, and drag, whoops-a-daisy, to copy that number down. So now I have all of my Molasses concentration versus height of the bubble in two nice neat columns, quantitative information side by side, headers at the top, just the way the program likes it. And so if I insert a chart now, look how lovely. And so I automatically have that. I again can go to customize, series, and add a trend line. And what's nice here, now this is not like below 0 wasn't really an option. So this trend line I feel is not incredibly helpful for this particular relationship. But it does give you a sense of how the variables are moving together. What's more likely is this is some kind of a sinusoidal or logarithmic kind of a relationship. All right, so I hope that helps with making scatter plots, or this special kind of scatter plot called a column scatter chart or a column scatter plot, which is one of my favorites because you can see the variance. A box and whisker plot would show you something similar.